Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Let's see a story about personal finance. So this is about insurance payout for somebody's son. So let's hear it out. Our son, 20 male, was in a serious car accident 7 months ago and has received a PIP settlement for $250,000. Right now, he is still going through a therapy and has some brain damage, which he may not be able to hold a full-time job. He's not completely disabled or will in fact be starting a job with a company that partners with the recovery place to see how well he can follow directions, etc. My wife and I are co-guardians and want the best for him. What's the best way to invest the settlement long term so that once he's gone, sorry, my bad, so that once we are gone, he will be able to live without having to worry about money too much. Unfortunately, he hasn't worked enough to get SSI or any type of assistance. What kind of financial advisor should go see? Should we go see? Whatever, my bad. Yeah, I feel like I can't even speak English. Whatever. Additional note: driver was 19 years old female, and unfortunately, she was killed in the accident. Oh my God, so sad. So let's see. Quarter million seems way too low for what you are describing. Did you get a lawyer? The response was $250,000 sounds very much like the limit of other parties' policy. It's very common for auto liability cover to max out at exactly that amount. Anything beyond it requires umbrella coverage, which few people have, and even the upper middle class. If an accident is egregious enough and the damage is high enough, it's not uncommon for the insurance company to just offer the policy limit out of the gate. Because filing the claim just means they will have to pay for lawyer for their customer and still end up writing a check for the policy limit. The only way a lawyer makes sense in such a scenario is if the other party has significant net worth in assets that can be seized. My God, that's so messed up. And by significant, I mean enough to pay 40%, 40 plus percent the lawyer is going to charge to get judgment and do the legwork of getting it enforced, like asset seizure. For example, for few people, there much networking asset that can be seized. In most states, retirement accounts of all sorts are off limits as insignificant or all harmicary. You are correct as to the policy limit. The other party was 19 years old female and unfortunately was killed in an accident. She was the driver of the vehicle. For anyone reading this, go get an umbrella policy. It cost me $300 for 1 million in umbrella coverage. I think it's 5 million in total. That's such a small amount in this grand scheme of things. Everything is insanely expensive now. So there you go, guys. Free game. And even higher limits can easily get blown through. The only downside is at least here in North Carolina, you must have higher limits for the umbrella to effective. So my auto home insurance are higher than they were previously in order for the umbrella to effective. OP, I'm so sorry to hear about your son and wish a speedy recovery and healthy life. 20 is so young and they have their entire life ahead of them. Agreed. I have a $2 million umbrella policy. This year's renewal was $382. So, guys, if you don't have an umbrella policy, please get it. See here, it's like $2 million of umbrella policy just for $382. That's the best thing you can get. And then uh, later on, we'll see what's the best umbrella policy for the best price. So just hang on for now. So the reply is same here. The umbrella covers liability for property damage and personal injury. Same here. The umbrella covers liabilities for a personal for property damage and personal injury. It's also important to get a $2 million or an umbrella for uninsured underinsured motorist that covers your own medical expenses so you don't end up in the mess the OP is in. If they had the coverage, your son wouldn't need to rely on their shitty coverage of the car that caused the accident. The cost for both $2 million umbrella liability and $2 million under uninsured for me was $360 per year in 2024. But to get that, I also had to have 500K coverage on the regular plan. So, guys, another game. So, so if you want the $2 million umbrella liability and $2 million under uninsured for $360, you need to have a regular policy of $500,000. So please just keep it in mind and just write it down on your sticky notes and stick it on your fridge. So yeah, when time comes, you know. So the umbrella policy for UM, coverage aren't available in many, if not most states. I can't get it in MA. What's MA? Massachusetts? Okay, I don't know. 200K isn't shitty coverage. In my state, I think the minimum requirement required is 25K, and many drivers don't even get that and drive uninsured. Oh, that's very sad. How y- how y'all finding cheap umbrellas? Mine was like $300 a month. Are you sure it's per month? I have $1 million policy. That is $300 per year, bro. I don't know what you guys do, but yeah. See, I have $1 million policy through AAA for $100 per year. Do this only pay out for car-related accidents or any other home incidents like someone falls? I need to call them to learn more about it. The comment reminded me to do that. At one point, I called to get a higher limit, but it was a lot more hassle. I don't remember the detail. I will call next week. I've got an umbrella policy. I thought it was interesting that when it renewed, there was an exclusion for anything involving my older son's truck, which was my father's policy. It's better the truck isn't your responsibility. Your policy won't cover the truck. If you insure the truck, it would be covered under your umbrella policy, assuming he's eligible to be covered under your auto policy. I am aware of that. Presumable that exclusion does not extend to the offspring. It should cover anything you are liable for that you have an insured interest in. But I do recommend you call them to ensure that. Let's see the other replies. Oh, there's no reply. I got mine the other day from Walmart for like 14.99. It provides a lot of coverage too. Oh my god. Fully constructed, not viable long term. Leave umbrella to the professionals. Not those looking to outsource the work. Hide it in the glove box maybe. Find a BIFL option too. They are typically per year, not per month. I imagine they because they pay out less frequently than home and auto insurance. Do honestly shop around every year and every 6 months. There, when you do the renewal, it costs you nothing to get new quotes. I normally would go to whichever advertisement did best for me, and have had insurance in all states, Central, Progressive, and State Farm over the year. This time I went through a Matic, which shows a bunch of different providers, and experience was phenomenal. The agent gave me his cell number so he could answer my question and was very helpful. Young guy, 30 years old, which also made the conversation seems easier to be honest. He was able to give me a real-time quotes and adjust the number on the fly based on the requirements and answer every single question I had. So I'm happy with them. I will end up saving 1,100 per year across my trip policy just from switching to travelers through them. It, it sounds like yeah, you would want your policy limit to be approximately your net worth, as it's not what's suing you. if you don't have the assets. So why get a giant umbrella policy from a selfish perspective? If you want a policy that would cover any reasonable judgments, so it doesn't touch your assets. If you have enough to be what's suing, then it doesn't matter under how much you have. You don't want to pay out of pockets. True, because cost balloon was faster than you can possibly expect. I have never had limits should match your net worth. But I'll ask my brother, licensed financial advisor and insurance agent, see if he's heard that. That said, if I hit someone and they are severely injured, $250,000 will blow through so quickly. My limit have to be 500K for the umbrella policy, but in comparison, I think state minimums are like 550K or 100K. That's so low, it's comical. It's because it is minimum because it covers nothing. The umbrella for uh, low yearly cost gives me a significant peace of mind, especially as a homeowner. If someone slips on my sidewalk because the snow melted and froze overnight, the next day they could sue me. I am in for a world of hurt that hurt is significantly lessened by umbrella policy, which a wonder for which was less than 2 hours in room with a lawyer. Yes, I got an umbrella this year and it's remarkably cheap. What is, however, I already had our limits. It specified the limits for renters, but it provides so much peace of mind. The minimum for most states are egregiously low, and probably wouldn't cover most damages of car these days. It's cheap because the odds of this are extremely low. You would need an incident to occur as something that blows past the higher coverage that slowed below the umbrella. Possibly 99% of umbrella owners will never use it. But even if you ever needed to, there will be there fine. This is there. Oh. I have heard of an umbrella policy before, but I need to look at it more. It is on your homeowner's insurance or auto insurance. Homeowners specifically. I just switch providers from all state to travelers. So I asked that friendly insurance agent all the questions. I got more coverage while saving $1,100 across all home auto umbrella between my wife and I. I couldn't be happier. Quick all state and the $600 yearly over year increase of home insurance. An insurance payout doesn't cancel out a payment to a plaintiff. So if you have $1 million policy and 1 million in available assets, you're gonna lose them to a $2 million judgment. The umbrella size is merely a function of how much coverage you want to pay for. But I assume the idea is if you have $1 million in assets, but the policy covers $1 million, then the party would more likely attempt to take $1 million settlement from insurance right away, then deal with paying 40% of the $2 million settlement to a lawyer and then take it to a court and try to win and win a $2 million settlement and walk away with $1.2 million. Seems reasonable, right? Yeah. 200K and zero. Again, it's about how much risk you want to protect yourself against. People say that a lot, but it doesn't make any sense to base your coverage on your net worth. It should be based on what you might get hit with. My 19-year-old son got speeding ticket recently. The cop took pity and write it for a lower speed than the kid was actually going, which was stupid fast. After hopefully getting it through his head how dangerous, stupid, and selfish he was being, I called my agent and added an umbrella policy. Oh, what happened? My insurance is out.